So, we're back at long last, and I've got a mouthful of pizza. Let's just start off with the obligatory. What happened last time?
Can't remember.
Oh, I haven't opened my notes yet.
Fights and more fights.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we
fight.
killed well, someone killed.
Oh, yeah. Whimsy.
Basically, one big fight the entire session.
That's right. We went into a Dark Eldar orgy den and fought a load of Dark Eldar and then Dark Cannon thing.
Dark Lance.
Darklands, yeah.
Mouse got shot with the Dark Lance.
Yeah. And we killed them all, and then to you three or some of us chased Whimsy up some stairs and into a place where he's going to try and escape through a Dark Eldar ship, and then his head exploded, much like the weird boy on Caliban's Harvest.
Indeed.
And then we took all of the Dark Eldar shit, because, Darklands.
All the loot.
And quite a few plasma grenades, and fucked off, pretty much.
Yeah. Somebody exploded from its head. We looted the corpse. Married his sister. Took over the family business.
Yep. Oh, by the way, directly because of that, your profit factor is now, wait for it, 65.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Obviously, because of various upkeeps and whatnot, it doesn't translate directly as they had a profit factor similar to your own, but obviously with upkeep and, getting some more admin in place and it works out, being a, still a decent bump, I would say.
A nice wedge.
I'd say so. That's definitely back on top. 65 is it's fairly middling as far as rogue traders are concerned. Definitely not a minor rogue trader anymore. You're definitely a player.
Just on the verge of gold-plated toilet paper.
Not in this
Toilet
economy.
paper? We're rich.
I was going to say, all toilet paper was lost to time around the second millennium due to some unforeseen circumstance that records don't hold. It's terrible, really.
Some say it was a virus.
What do people use now then? Just like butt sponges?
3 seashells. Less of people.
The old Roman style with the sponge on a stick.
Yeah, less people have had to resort to the only other paper-based thing that was around, which was sandpaper. They've since managed to develop that technology slightly, so it's not heretical, and now the sand is at least soft.
Okay.
Nobody's figured out how to remove the quote sand yet, but
Oh,
Well, I know how to improve our profit factor.
Jesus Christ.
the new venture.
No wonder everyone in the Imperium is so grouchy. They've got sand between their cheeks.
Exactly. Taking chafing to a whole new level. Because they haven't wiped Josh properly unless your tailbone's exposed.
There we go. There's the next brilliant invention off Lucius, an automatic arse wiper. And
Day.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright. So, we're also going to decide on exactly what quirks the ship is having. Obviously, we're having the no ranks bar. I'll tell you is that that's already been requisitioned and organized, and because it was so popular in the last ship, and you're expecting a larger amount on this one. He's taken over what was one of the minor ballrooms, so it's probably about quadrupled in size.
Nice.
And there's four, half a dozen staff whose permanent job is to be in there and work it. So that's a rather nice upgrade.
And work it, you say?
Yes. Like
In a sexy sense.
No, unless that's something you're going to make happen as captain. I don't know.
I can certainly work it.
Get some pole dancing rattlings in there.
Well, Connor's
I mean,
not here,
did we-
so
did we-
he can't object. So yes.
Did we acquire any of the working girls from the Xeno bar?
Good lord, no. Please no.
No, that is not something that I want.
So
Just to clarify.
one thing I'm going one thing I've noticed I'm going to add is while the ship was in dock, there was a reported instance of a Jacaro randomly teleported on board and hasn't since left, and Orv seemed to appear as times went by. So now there's a very small, like double digits amount of Jacaro living on board, and you're constantly fiddling with things and creating marvelously effective devices and additions for tasks that nobody particularly has done. Like, for example, installing bottle openers that never slip onto the base of every single cannon round, or outfitting the mess with specially reinforced teapots, which can be mounted on a plasma gun to draw heat.
That sounds
pretty-
incredible.
That's very efficient.
Yeah. They generally go around and tinker and install random little devices. And they're extremely rare creatures in the Imperium, so there'd definitely be a small populace that you'd want to keep a close eye on and look after.
Mm.
Mouse now has built-in bottle openers on basically every surface of his armor.
I like it.
You sat still for too long and got fiddled with.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Would you have a one of those
Does
crab claw crushers on parts as well?
Does anybody want to clarify what a Jacaro is?
It's an orangutan.
Yeah, it's a
Fantastic.
monkey person.
Oh,
Make
are those-
digi-weapons.
Yeah, I was going to say the digi-weapon.
It's literally an orangutan that's like 40,000 years more evolved. With,
Oh,
with a little bit of tweaking
so
along
like
the way.
So, a couple of steps up from Ruby then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
And they've got like a savant understanding of technology, and obviously aren't constricted by the weirdness of the Mechanicum, and just make things happen.
Nice.
They sort of do their own thing. They're tinkerers.
Hmm.
And
40k gnomes.
sure. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Cool.
I don't have anything else I specifically want to add. I know this is dangerous, but if anyone would like a roll, or if anyone has any specific suggestions for one more little thing that we think would be quite nice to have.
As long as nobody suggests putting anything on a sealed deck, for example.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't mention that.
No, that's not even on my list anymore. That's how non-existent it is.
For those of you watching this back, that's a throwback to episode 2.
It is.
Yes.
Find the link in the description, if I remember.
Remember to like and subscribe.
And ring that bell.
Oh, good lord.
Smash the like button.
You need to sound clip that and just have...
point to going.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hello,
Squarespace.
Raid Shadow Legends.
NordVPN.
As endorsed by the popular streamer, Pointy Head Jedi.
Oh yeah, can we sponsor one of your videos, Pointy? That's a good idea. We'll PayPal you.
You
Eventually.
mean Patreon?
I only deal in nude selfies these days.
So
How much
carefully,
one
carefully
pointy?
say that to man. Might find some particularly
You got it. Don't you worry.
some weird corners of the wargaming community right there. Yeah, anyone have any weird suggestions or that they particularly want, or we'll just sort of roll that for now and not worry too much about it. And if anyone finds anything for next week, it could be maybe something that develops over the next couple of weeks that, you know, ships in transit and doing the shakedown.
That sounds better.
Let's go with that.
An escalator to nowhere.
So get the Nurang's Barn and the Jukero. That sounds like a good start. Is there anything weird? By all means.
Sweet.
I'm always amused by the ratings speak a weird variant of Low Gothic that sounds an awful lot like French. That amuses me. Anyway, so you have literally just got your new ship. I was gonna say, Lucius, you in particular have all the similar accoutrements and facilities that you're used to in the form of laboratorium, but you now have probably about double and maybe triple the space. You've, there's your massive complement of servitors in the ship. Will there be anything you'll be carrying along to the new ship, like any assets or anything like that?
Mouse would quite like the dueling arena to also be a feature.
Sure, we'll reinstate that.
Because I haven't looked at the new ship and I'm talking about the old ship, I can have a look at what's, if anything, there is.
I was thinking more like, I assume you're taking your complement of servitors with you, like the fancy ones.
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
That sort of thing. And will you be leaving the Tau on the Litany, or will you be taking them over onto these?
If this is going to be our new main ship, I'd say we take them with us because they have proven useful on occasion.
Sure.
I'd like to offer the leader of the cult, if they would like to move, or if they would simply like to have an offshoot.
Yeah. They'll be setting up another like full group cult call it station? Not station. The word sect. Let's roll that. Yeah, they'll be setting up like another full complement. That will go with that on this ship as well.
Oh, was it? Didn't we settle on like a weird navigator? The one here.
What do you mean? Oh no, yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Sweet. I'll rename the navigator. So I've got.
What, navigator jar? Or is that a bit too on the nose?
Navigator Jarvis.
Yeah.
No. I was looking for the Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the brain, this bear. What do you call that? There it is. But yes, I'll figure that out as we go along. So yes, what else? Yeah, so very shortly after, you have plenty of time to get settled in and organized. Reacquainted, acquainted with the new ship, the one that you previously purged, and it's it's quite nice having it there with some actual atmosphere again, and not being cloistered with hordes of zombies trying to kill you. It's good times. The Fairytale mechanics has definitely sort of paid you back in full for covering them a fucking Titan. You definitely don't feel shortchanged. So Theodore, one thing that sort of comes up is the previous crew of this ship are wanting back, or at least a small complement of them. They're wishing to take up service again.
We didn't leave them on very good terms, did we?
Not especially.
I mean, what assistance can they give us above and beyond what our new crew can provide?
Nothing especially. More that they'll just be fairly competent in that they won't, they're gonna actually know the ways of the ship and how to get around and all that sort of stuff. Just I don't know, just generally more familiar crew. What's that?
So, just said navigator just popped up. Sure, we'll keep them along unless anybody's got any particular objections. I know. Who was it? Friend with an axe?
He who no longer exists.
Yeah. I believe that was Sandwich.
Cool. Then, sure, we'll keep him around.
Sweet enough.
I can't see this biting us in the ass in any way.
I can't either. Can you?
Eh.
Fair enough then. So yeah, sort of about a week into sort of refamiliarizing yourself and getting ready to set off. Vox transmission comes through, sort of long distance, all the way from Footfall. The Naval Office has requested your attention, Theodore, for matters of great importance and in relation to your new holdings.
Fantastic. So, what did we decide last time? So we've got his. So I've got his sword, correct?
Yeah.
With his family insignia and stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got his armor.
Yeah. Same bless armor, same as the stuff you had, but obviously, whimsity.
Yeah. Does anybody would anybody be better off with that? Thinking
Phoenix is about the only one, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, what's this?
so the Whimsit's armor.
Yeah,
Mm.
the simplest armor.
Yeah, I currently only have Stormtrooper Carapace, but if you want to keep it as a trophy, you can.
No, so I spoke about this with Phil. So my idea is to have you're actually perfect for this. So you would wear the Whimsit armor. I would be wearing my Constantine power armor, and that would be to the Whimsit side of things. That would be a unifying message to send, especially someone so close in my retinue to be wearing the Whimsit armor. So we'll get that like hearts and minds sort of thing. But to the whole Constantine side of things, it could be seen as a slight to take the head of the dynasty and give it to a subordinate. So it wins over both sides as a political message from both sides.
I always thought hearts and minds in a Warhammer 40k context would mean, a couple of rounds to the chest and a couple of rounds to the head, just to be sure.
That's it, yeah. It tends to be more related to bullet rounds, yeah.
That's plan B.
So that's
So if you want it, you can have it, and I think it would be a nice, striking image for the unifying of the houses.
that's actually a very, very interesting idea. And what would you prefer?
He'd prefer you to do it.
Theodore? You'd prefer me to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then I'll do it.
I was suggesting it, so
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Remember, a suggestion off your lord is not a suggestion.
Yeah, I know. Would I be, Whimsit's third cousin or something?
No, you would be you.
Yeah.
You're not disguised as anybody. I've taken control of his assets, so
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm assuming control of his assets.
Yes, full control.
Cool. So yeah, so it's as far as they're concerned, I'll be passing it across as a show of respect and continuity, but also to our side, it's I'm giving the head of the dynasty's armor to my Seneschal.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Sure. And if it helps you not die, then that's all for the better. I hope you agree.
Yeah.
Cool. That settles it.
Excellent.
So yeah, give you some time to get into that, and we'll head on down to the naval office.
Yeah, the naval office in Footfall.
Oh, right. Okay, so we're at the Constantine station.
Yes.
So what do we decide we're doing with the other ship? Are we going in convoy? Are we leaving them to do their own bits and bobs? Or what's the deal? What's the done thing?
Well, Scythia is officially the Lord Captain of the Litany of Ascension now.
Uh-huh.
And so, you can do pretty much whatever you like with it. You can keep it around if you want, or you can give her autonomy to act as an independent member of the family. I would suggest waiting until you see her at the naval office once of you before
Of course.
you make any decisions regarding that. but
I'd say take both ships to the night, both ships to Footfall as a show.
Yeah, of course. And then we'll decide from there.
Yeah, and decide from there.
good to me. Okay. And 2 Footfall, I guess. Do you want to do a straight jump?
Yeah.
Cool.
What was I going to say? Nope, never mind. Completely gone. So don't worry about it.
Cool. Great start. Sorry. To this and wow, that worked out quite nice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, let's make it back to Footfall in that's about 6 days, and we'll do 2 rolls. So, who's going to get us the 2D? Well, who's going to do the D100s for the comeback?
Maybe you fancy it?
Nice roll.
Lovely. First 3 days pass completely uneventfully.
Nice.
It's that one again. Maybe not.
You did want a second one, right?
I did, yes. All over the ship, paintings, carvings, and murals come to life, animated and angry. Skull carvings gnash at passerbys. Gargoyles lunge at the crew from their pedestals. Stained glass saints make obscene gestures, and the road traders' familial portraits engage in unspeakable vulgarities. Artworks are all harmless, but are quite disturbing and blasphemous. You order the artwork to remain untouched. You lose 1 morale. The crew grumble about your unwillingness to do anything about this foul corruption. If you order it destroyed, your ship's innards become ruined, and you take a -10 to all fellowship tests for the next 6 months until you can get all the art replaced and fixed up.
Can I just make a point?
Mhm.
Images of our Lord Captain making obscene gestures wouldn't be a shock to anyone.
So, what were the ramifications for not destroying them? Sorry.
You lose 1 morale. That's it.
You say that as if there's more that's in.
No, that's literally it. You literally use 1 morale.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's reminding me, actually. We had a tapestry, I believe, in the other ship.
Yes.
I can't remember what that did. I can't find my notes since I swapped hard drives. Do we want to move that across? So I seem to remember it did pick the Emperor of Mankind or something.
Oh yeah, and that improved like your tool morale or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, something.
I would suggest maybe splitting some of the stuff and leaving some on the other ship, so all the eggs in one basket kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
maybe
but that was something fancy to go in the bridge. So
yeah, it's true.
Oh wow, I just realized something. One of the supplemental components, the Runecaster, Eyes of the Warp. So your navigator gets +20 to all navigation, and travel times are reduced by half. Again. You have a very fast ship.
Oh dear.
good lord.
How quickly could we make the Kessel run then? Do you think?
Probably about 9 parsecs. Yeah. Cool. That means in that case I need to choose this again. So yeah,
Oh, we definitely need to do the football to Source and Carmine run.
Oh,
Again.
just to set a new record, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So that's 6 and a bit days.
No, I've reduced the scaling of the map by half.
Oh
So
dear.
that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
That's it. For reference, a normal ship with nothing on the go.
Oh dear.
Like that's a standard warp drive. 50 days, Solace and Carmine. So yeah, you have
And
a
with
very fast ship.
Jar Jar Binks as our navigator.
Boo. Anyway.
Sorry, not sorry.
So, you arrive at the naval office. You arrive at Footfall, I should say. And there seems to be a bit of a hubbub going about. There seems to be a lot of ships sort of like moving through Footfall and sort of moving sort of forward as if going through the maw back towards the cliff sector. Something's definitely going on.
What do all these ships look like?
There's a couple of rogue traders in there. Then you've got most of them are like are naval vessels there.
Okay.
Various shapes and sizes. Obviously, mostly made up of cruisers, as most of the navies are. A few frigates, a few like 1 or 2 battleships, that sort of thing.
Are any road traders of note, or
Give me a heraldry thing, don't you?
I believe I do. Yes, classic law heraldry.
Yeah, it gives that. Yeah, nothing really comes. Nothing really shows up. I think you see maybe like maybe another one of Winterscale's ships, or
Is
Oh,
there's some. You've seen them before, but none of the names come to mind.
for
would
some reason I had weapon skill as my base skill on that one.
Weird.
would Garviel looking out from the bridge of the old ship, would he recognise this build-up?
Not necessarily. I think you could assume there's been the ships are all getting rallied up for something. Normally this would mean like a time of war, but there hasn't been a big old red alert sent out, so that's probably not the case. But I think you could assume there's some sort of task force being set up.
Kind of like a small battle fleet.
Yeah, basically.
Don't you?
Theodore, you'll be called away for your meeting with the naval office with your senior staff, Scythia and Garviel. Garviel, you're now Scythia's second, not Theodore's.
Yep.
And I suppose Theodore will need to get you to IC at some point, but for now I think Jericus. Actually, no. Yeah, I think Jericus would be the one to go across.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's arriving in the naval office. There's quite a lot of hubbub going on along the Footfall. There seems to be, pretty much what you say, in line with what you saw outside. A lot of motion, a lot of. It's definitely not sort of a lazy Sunday in the naval office. Everybody seems to be working with a little bit more purpose than they normally do. And you're invited into Admiral Corvan's office.
Garviel will be wearing full dress uniform.
Of course. Is Theodore going to be stomping around in his power armor, or just wearing his normal, like carapace, like the fancy stuff?
which would be fancier?
I mean, the power armor's like for big time showing off when you're expecting a fight. The carapace armor would be more appropriate for going to a formal meeting with an admiral in his office.
Then the carapace armor.
Good shot.
Can you say the admiral's name again?
Corvan.
Haha.
Corvan, I'm assuming.
Korvan.
I get the reference. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Is he one of the leading military minds of the era?
You could say that. Certainly of the Cronus Expanse, yes.
Aha.
A wayward daughter and something like that, but
Mhm.
it's a backstory you would not be aware of, obviously. Anyways. So yes, you write in. Some sort one of his junior officers or aides is gives you a beautiful boy and brings you in and offers you seats and everybody has a seat and it's Scythia and Theodore of the sort of frontmost seats and Garviel and Jericus of the seats sort of behind them to the right and left, of course. And you're all sat down, and Admiral sort of looks up from his desk and is like, welcome. I have yet to meet you, young Constantine. I hear you've acquired a rather large amount of assets in recent times.
Times have been good. What would the formal address be for a officer of his rank?
Admiral, just address him by rank, and you can't go far wrong.
No, yeah.
Is he a proper Imperial Navy admiral?
Proper Imperial Navy admiral,
Okay.
yes.
You'd have noted that Garviel was wearing full dress.
Yeah.
So you'd have had some
Don't
clue.
break for days then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coming out of his arse.
Quite literally. Times have been good, Admiral Darvis. No, Corvin. Sorry. Corvin?
Yeah.
I've got two into the reference there, my bad.
Indeed. But yeah.
My bad.
So yes. So I assume the Inquisition has been in touch as to what the owner of your inheritance was involved in regards to these Xenos.
Unfortunately, they have not as yet.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. Well, in that case, I suppose it falls to me to task you instead of them. Anthony Whimsit was rather deeply involved with a Dark Eldar warband, and
I saw that.
with the collapse of their leadership, they appear to have made a break through the Maw and into the Cliff sector for some unknown reasons. As you may have seen, we're organizing a task force with willing participants, willing road traders, as well as some assets from Battlefleet Cronus and the Order Clixis Inquisition. And as the inheritor of his assets, she also inherited his mess. I will, of course, be using you as front lines in this investigation, and we will hope to deal with the Dark Eldar in the Click sector as soon as possible.
Of course.
Indeed.
How may we be of assistance?
So I'm here to rally the troops and send you back through the Maw, but there's an official battle briefing on Scintilla by Battlefleet Calixis Grand Admiral. and he'll be for the foreseeable future. He'll be your boss until the Dark Eldar fleet is dealt with. We believe there to be some dozen ships that have escaped through into the sector.
Well, that just won't do. We'll have to deal with them post-whip.
Quite. On your way to Scintilla, I do have one tasking for you. One of the listening posts around Protesia had a strange blip of an unusual warp signature. I suppose it's on your way, but I've sent everybody else on ahead. But as it's your mess to clean up, I figured I would save the special task for yourself.
Well, dealing with the Whimsy mess is something we've excelled at recently, so I'm sure we're more than capable.
I hope so.
And I trust you're aware of Whimsy's, how do you describe it, operations within Footfall itself. There seems to be an underground network. I'm not sure if you're aware of the brief.
Yes, sticky situation, that one. But we're aware. We're monitoring the situation.
Fantastic. It's been a while. We got data on who had been in and out of that place, haven't we?
Limited data, yes.
So,
so looking through the data, it turned out there'd be essentially a bunch of pseudonyms and aliases and all that sort of stuff. Very few people used. Obviously, nobody used their real names for something like that. But it's Leeds and the sort of thing that some sort of scrub acolyte of the Inquisition would be chasing up.
Okay, so we've already passed the information on. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't need mentioning again to the Admiral then?
No.
Time is of the essence, and we best make best use of our time and expertise to eradicate this great threat to the Empire.
Right. I've received word from Inquisitor Brandt. I believe you're acquainted. He has a special asset he wishes to operate from your ship.
Indeed. Well, I will be in touch with Inquisitor Brandt.
Excellent. So in summary, investigate the listening post at Protesia and convene on Scintilla with the for the War Cabinet.
Fantastic. Scintilla is this here, all right?
Scintilla is the capital of the Clixus sector, and as the frontier sort of going off the Clixus sector, it's essentially the capital of the Cronus Expanse as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much a hive world as straight up a hive planet. There's two there's colossal hives on it. So
nice.
Also takes you past the Lathe world as well. Be quite a nice little voyage. This would be a chance to ask any questions, Jericus and Garviel.
Garviel will say no questions unless there are any special naval orders, sir.
No.
Is there any rumors going about what they are doing in Calix's sector? Anything they're looking for, or
None whatsoever. Safe to assume they're looking for something. Intel suggested the Whimsit, whilst being seen as cavorter, was exercising some level of control of them, and at least keeping them in the Cronus Expanse. Well, since he got dealt with, it's fair to say we've also lost our major source of intel on them as well.
he was informing you?
Well, from posthumously, of course.
And is there an exact size or
Of the fleet?
of the Dark Eldar?
Yeah. Approximately a dozen, best guess.
Okay.
But yeah. In the meantime, I suppose Lucius is the current ranking member left in the ship. You'll have got a notification to one of the upper shuttle decks. There's a priority shuttle incoming.
Okay.
With inquisitorial credentials.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, Lucius not being part of the meeting, you wouldn't really know about this.
Nope.
So he's kind of panicking, like, "Oh shit, we've been found out." So we could hurry to scrub up the lab while ordering a
Mass shredding.
detachment of troops to act like a formal greeting on the shuttle deck, and I guess he would attend as well, seeing as he's the highest ranking officer on board.
Indeed.
All of your underlings to sweep everything under the carpet.
Face, you sort of like dipped out there.
Oh, it's okay. I was just saying you could get all of your underlings. I forget the name of them now. To sweep all the heretical.
Fast data purge.
To be honest, I'm on a thin line as well with heretical stuff. So
Oh, yeah, so you are. Forgot about that.
Book.
yeah.
Mouse's sword as well.
That's been kind of cleaned up. It's passable.
I mean, we've taken like an angle grinder and took off some symbols, but that's about it. It's fine.
Yeah, take an angle grinder, set some nice words over it, and hope for the best. Yeah.
Smothered it in
over.
incense.
Yeah.
Well, at least the ship the shuttle's going to doesn't have a demon-infested weapon system.
You know what? That's true. Fair enough. So Lucius, as soon as you've arrived and got all the pomp and circumstance organized, it's a small shuttle, like a sort of like 1-2 man stealth shuttle of some sort. Exact model number, I'm sure it eludes you for now. And it turns around, and then a small cargo ramp opens up, and like a sort of casket on a sort of grav lift or grav mounting sort of comes out, being pushed along by a particular figure. And let me double check your lures and what. I'll take a flat forbidden lore, Admech. Oh, sorry, correction. I'll make that a flat Archaeotech roll. Forbidden lore Archaeotech roll. Nice. Because you're great at not ever telling anybody these things, I'm going to whisper you.
There we go.
One second, there's a stupid alarm going off. One sec. Back.
Welcome back.
Oh, and then a tech priest comes off and sort of peculiar robes for like a mixture of Admech and some sort of peculiar inquisitorial sect that seems sort of obscure, and some symbols you haven't actually seen anyone wearing before. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so not like a different Forge Hall uniform, for example.
No, just definitely some like very obscure department, shall we say?
Okay.
And he seems to be sort of taking particular care of the casket, and sort of plinking away and poking away in a data slate.
Is there any view into the casket?
No, it's all like fogged up and my glass, all that sort of shit.
Okay. So is there anyone else other than the Inquisitor, the Tech Man, and I'm guessing some guards? I guess.
No, it's literally those two people. There's the person I mentioned in the Whisper that you've recognised, mostly by what they're wearing, the tech priest, and the casket.
Oh,
That's it.
Okay.
It's a very small shuttle. It's clearly a stealth shuttle of some sort. It's designed for recon.
Fascinating. I guess Lucius would approach the tech priest and just await a response when he stands in front of the man.
So directly in sort of binary cant to interest you. I hope you're Explorator Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius would reply in binary cant. Indeed, I am.
Excellent. They didn't send a stooge. You're the one I've been looking for. This casket is going to be your sole responsibility for the foreseeable future, and he's going to hand you the data slate. Please enter your credentials here, and I will lock this to you specifically.
Okay, yeah, he'll sign it off.
Sign it off, and the yet unnamed tech priest sort of signs, sort of enters his credentials, and everything is like solely encrypted to you at this point.
Sweet.
Fantastic. I would impress him. The data slate will have all the information you will need. I'm not going to discuss it, even in the Holy Tongue of the Messiah in front of all these flesh bags as to specifically what this is. But allow me to impress upon you that this is of the most extreme importance and would not be entrusted to you without your prior reputation in the Mechanicum. Do you understand?
Affirmative, understood.
My colleague, if you wish to call them that, will be primarily in charge of this asset. You are to be in charge of the maintenance of the casket itself and to ensure that nothing goes wrong with it for the voyage and while it is under your care until such a time comes where the asset is expended or retrieved. This asset is extremely valuable to the Imperium as a whole, and will carry an amount of influence in any future endeavors you may have if something were to go wrong.
I understand. Is there an anticipated time period before the asset will become of use?
Days, weeks. It is up to the agent you see beside me as to when they wish to use the asset.
Lucius would nod and say, understood.
It's a giant void grenade, isn't it?
The holy void grenade of Antioch.
That's exactly what I think.
Just at that moment, rabbits appear.
It's an instrument of the Emperor's justice.
Well, Explorator, he'll say in Low Gothic, my name is Archmagos Josiah. I'm a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus attached to the Inquisition. You'll know yourself very obviously that he's not saying he's attached to the Inquisition is like saying someone from the SAS is part of the British Army. That sort of obvious association or bullshit cover story, that sort of thing.
But they are.
Well, they are, but it's using a generic term is a little bit misleading almost as to clearly how involved they are, especially the fact that an Archmagos is escorting something like this. I will be assisting you in installing this new cryopod into one of your bays in the meantime, and just checking up on your ship, as I see it's been newly refitted. Even to yourself, he's clearly giving a bullshit cover story for anyone that may be overhearing.
And then, Lucius reply in Low Gothic and say, perfectly understandable. We have servitors that can provide round-the-clock security.
Fantastic. Please show me for the next few hours until my shuttle, my next shuttle arrives to pick me up. I would love the grand tour of this fine ship.
Of course, Archmagos. I myself find myself amusedly excited with its restoration.
Excellent. So, I was going to say, at that point, I would assume you'd like lead him off and do all that sort of stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I guess we'll deal with this cryopod first, and then then head off with the tour, I guess.
That's good. I was going to say, you should take whilst you're talking about the Archmagos, the The other person that was there seems to just like disappear off, and you lose track of them in the middle of the conversation, and didn't even catch them moving out of the shuttle bay. Likewise, none of the sort of honor guard of sorts that you had set up said they noticed anybody disappear or move through the doors or anything such as that. So yes, the rest of you, sort of you'll arrive back about an hour or two after the shuttles arrived, and I don't know, for simplicity's sake, we'll say you bump into Lucius escorting an Archimagos around the bridge.
Wait. So, me giving the tour encounters the other plebs.
Yeah, other players return like mid-tour sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. That's what.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. Yeah. So as we're as the tour is interrupted, yeah, Lucius would say in Logothic he would introduce Archimagos to Theodore first off, and then give like little footnotes like this is his, here's his Seneschal and whatever.
Yeah.
Guess he would speak out and say, Archimagos, this is rogue trader Theodore Constantine, and Garviel Mouse and Jericus, something like that.
Yeah.
Just lowly dismissing them.
Mouse is going to do his very best salute, or a pretty good one, anyway.
I was going to say the Archimagos doesn't really have any gold braid as such, but it's
important.
I was going to say very much so. It's more like it's instead of like gold braid, it's like more like inlaid like electrum and other like very sort of fancy metals and whatnot. I mean, being nothing to mouse for the value of the metals, but they're very shiny indeed.
Shiny equals important. Everyone knows this.
Yes. The Archimagos will note. I see you've got simpletons very well trained in this on the ship in binary.
Reply in binary. Yes, he's a curious thing. Useful though.
Yes, that the what's it, the
Now,
implant.
Is he talking about Mouse, or is he talking
Yes,
about Lord Constantine?
You'll assume he's talking about Mouse when it's the Boned implant, and it's like, yes, I haven't seen one of those in action. The last one I heard of those being installed fried the Lummox's brain. That hasn't quite happened, and Mouse, the Archimagos is gonna like. There's going to be a couple of like sort of quite spindly mechadendrites, not spider-like, but just sort of like I don't know, so like I don't think fiber optics, I suppose, are going to like sort of fray out at the end, and there's lots of like wire-sized sort of manipulators, like little, almost like little teeny tiny fingers, seem to sort of like twist your head around and examine your sort of boned implant.
Okay. He's going to look a little bit perplexed, but he's going to let it happen.
You'll hear the Archimagos mumbling away. It's like, oh yes, minimal charring. Yes. Not a bad job. Okay. Right. And there's going to be a very, very neutral look as he sort of like unrestrains your head, and the sort of fiber optic mechadendrites almost sort of slide back under his cloak. And at this point, turns to Constantine and says, "Fine ship you have, rogue trader. I hope she serves you well. I remember when this ship was brought into service many, many years ago. And it served the Mechanicum well, and I hope it will in turn serve you well."
Muted. Can't hear you, dude.
Yeah, Matt, you're not transmitting properly? Matt?
Yes. Hello.
There he is, he's back.
There we go. Sorry, I messed up with extra talk.
No worries.
Well, welcome aboard, Archmagos. Thank you. And, to what do we owe the pleasure? In fact, no, we were informed that it'd be.
Oh no, I don't think you were specifically informed.
Okay. So, yeah, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Yes, I'm here to deliver a special asset. I was going to say, he switched to High Gothic at this point. On the assumption it's going to...
Is,
Oh no, he doesn't know. I mean, you're a rogue trader. Obviously, you know High Gothic, so he's going to switch to High Gothic.
I nod along regardless.
Of course, it's going to switch to High Gothic and say, "Yes, I'm here to deliver the special asset that the Inquisition has bestowed upon you. I trust you will look after it. You'll play your part in looking after it."
Yeah. So as soon as he started talking, I would have sort of not said anything over Vox, but like just sort of open and close the Vox link to alert my subordinates that I have no idea what he's saying, to try and signal.
I'm gonna try and walk off into the corner and translate it back.
Okay. I feel like this is the time where we start getting some roles involved.
What could go wrong?
So Theodore, I'm going to take a. I'm going to give the Archmagos a chance to listen in.
Oh no! Actually, can I change tact?
Oh.
Change away.
Um,
Don't let that role influence you.
So, so instead of that, I would say, pardon, Archmagos, but these are my senior staff, and anything you have to say to me, you can say to them. Unfortunately, some of the staff, and I look towards Mouse, and I say, some of the staff don't speak High Gothic, so if you just continue the conversation in Low Gothic, that would be appreciated.
He looks momentarily.
I appreciate your concerns, but needs must.
Interesting. Well, regardless, you've been bestowed with, I dare say, a great honor in the broader scheme of things. It's not I would not continue this in any form of unencrypted language. Logothic is not a language I'm comfortable communicating this with. Simply understand, all you plebeians that are listening, your rogue trader has been entrusted with a great honor from the Inquisition, and the Inquisition would hope that you are on your best form in the coming weeks and months, and ensure that your rogue trader does not disappoint the Inquisition.
I would say thus far we've failed to disappoint anyone, and we've been of great help to the Inquisition and the Imperium as a whole. I trust you. You heard tell of us recovering a Titan?
Yes, I heard of that. Though to say you've never disappointed anyone would be something of an overstatement.
My wife notwithstanding.
I've seen the reports from Caliban's harvest.
My child wife, notwithstanding.
Rather messy orc invasion.
I
That's-
believe that's under control.
My reports say otherwise. Regardless, I trust. At the very least, I trust in Explorator, Boeri, and his reputation with the Mechanicum is largely responsible for you being entrusted with this. I hope you won't disappoint, as this asset should. Well, it should make the difference in your current assignment in towards the Calixtus sector. You understand that the Inquisition has a slightly more vested interest in keeping it secure than the wilds of the Expanse.
Well, as soon as we out what the thing is with which we've been interested, I'm sure we can take incredibly careful care of it until such time that we need to avail of its properties, whatever it does.
Well, while it is within my authorization to inform you what it is, I don't believe it is my place to tell you what it is. I will leave that to the agent in charge of it.
I see. I don't believe I've. Is this the other person that was on board with the? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. I didn't realise we had a second guest aboard.
You do. I believe they'll make themselves known when the time is needed. When the time comes. You see him sort of reach towards his ear and some sort of microbead perhaps, and says, "I believe my shuttle is requesting authorization to pick me up." And Theodore, you sort of notice one of your sort of comms guys has been sort of waving in the background at you, try and get your attention.
Okay. In
Sir, there's an Inquisition vessel wanting to dock.
yes. Of course, anything for the Inquisition.
Archmagus will simply say, "Good luck in your coming endeavors. I hope you serve the Imperium well."
As do I, Archmagos. Words. Because good health doesn't really suit Necky Boy, does it?
I mean, health in a broad sense would work, yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wishing his fleshy parts, great vitality doesn't really do him any favors, but wishing for good health in general, yes.
Okay then. Wish you good health and good luck in your endeavours also. We will do our best to not disappoint.
This is all I can hope for. May the Omnissiah bless your travels, and I will bid you a good day. and he says, "Explorator, if you would escort me down the shuttle bay, there are some nuances I would explain as to the your assignment."
Indeed.
So yeah, it's it's general sort of technical jargon and whatnot, purely just nothing he thinks you wouldn't already know, but purely just as an excuse to talk about something and make it, another part of the cover story, as it were.
Okay.
Yes, going down to down to through the adjacent shuttle bay and gets a fairly standard like imperial shuttle out and buggers off. So yeah, I think 5-minute break.
Sure.
Coffee.
Indeed. Lots of
Sounds
time. Garby?
Make it a second.
We go to the world in the warp storm after we went to the breaking yards and traded. We did, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, it's a shame.
I'm back.
Hmm.
Blessed caffeine.
Fuck, sorry about that. My AeroPress exploded on me and I had a mess to fucking clean up.
What exploded on you?
My AeroPress.
You didn't properly appease the machine's spirit, clearly.
Yeah. Fucking 3 bits of fucking plastic.
I'm
And a
back.
bit of rubber. Yeah.
Mate, what does it do? Is it
It's
think
for-
like a wrapper?
It's for making coffee. So it's basically just like you basically plunge the coffee through a filter. Like you force the coffee through the hot water through beans through filter.
Aeropress?
Yes.
Good stuff.
It was left sitting with the plunger in the thing, so and it's a bit old, so didn't make a proper seal, and then a little bit of air got through, and then obviously basically like shoved it and slammed like half the distance down, and kersploosh explosion.
That's why I have a fancy coffee machine.
Yeah, well, that some of us haven't got the replacement yet to make that sort of money.
So many things I could say, but I might wait until after the session for the safety of all.
I like your tactics.
Yeah. Everybody here?
Well, you might end up
Yep.
working due to the Rona. No, not working. Studying this year.
No. The people that haven't got placements for this coming year already are being told to, or will be extending their things another year.
Does that happen to some people?
Yeah. I'm the only person
Oh,
that
no.
didn't get a placement initially that has got one for this year.
Oh no.
So, anyway, everyone's here, yeah?
Anyone not here?
Cool. Let's boogie. So yes, Theodore, after the Archimagos is escorted back to the shuttle, what was your plan? Back to the office, back to quarters? What's the general thinking? What's...
I need to set up a comms link with our bloody translator droid.
Good point. I forgot you had that.
Yeah, like
Didn't-
that's happening, like immediately.
Didn't Garviel teach him High Gothic anyway?
I was teaching him, but it depends whether he spent the points.
And by the signs of that interaction, he hasn't.
No.
Fair enough.
The lessons haven't been going well in that case.
Who needs to talk all fancy when you've got a sword? Me, obviously.
Yeah, clearly, yes.
I can just hear him shouting out in a Jabba the Hutt's voice, "Translator droid!" Or whatever the Jabba the Huttanese is for translator droid. Or is it Comchica droid or something?
Yes, that. So I immediately go and grab somebody that's good with the droids and set up a discrete comms system to the translator droid, if possible.
Yeah, totally possible.
They
You-
translate all languages, right?
Yeah, all known languages.
Nice. Should have done this months ago.
Probably. But yes. I assume at some point during the day you'll like retire to your office.
Of course.
Oh, fantastic! Well, in that case, when you eventually go back to your office, you'll see this particular female sitting, waiting. I suppose in your chair. I think in your chair. Actually, no, it wouldn't be in your chair. It would be sitting opposite your chair in the guest chair, as relaxed as you like.
Okay. Well, it's been a while, but hello. How can I help you? Why are you in my office?
Of course, you've never seen me with a mask on, have you?
Ah, welcome. Welcome back.
It has been a while.
It has indeed.
I trust you saw the gentleman off the ship.
The Archmagos?
Yes,
Indeed.
good. His kind are an annoyance. Not Lucius, obviously, but he's particularly finicky, that one is.
Yeah, Lucius has got his quirks.
Oh, trust me, from what I've found of them in the past few years that I've been away, not all of them are as nice as Lucius.
Oh, some unexpected surprise. Can I offer you a drink?
No, I don't. My body is a temple to the Emperor.
I see. In which case, I will pour a drink in offerance to the Emperor, and if you don't avail of it, then I'll have to make sure it's put to good use.
I will have some, but of a low alcohol content.
Is there anything of low alcohol content in my bar?
I like how you have to ask.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to ask.
I send for some low alcohol content.
That'd be a good shot. Yeah.
And if you hadn't gathered, Lord Constantine, I am the agent that the Inquisition spoke of.
Ah, fantastic. The Archmagos was somewhat secretive of the details. Are you able to shed any more light on the objects? Or the...
There is not much I can say, but I will say this. Make sure that that room is guarded and nobody interferes with that casket. If anyone interferes with that casket, all I will say is this: the ship will not survive.
Well, I'll have to post my...
And that is all I can say. You must understand who I am now a part of. I am a different person to the one you knew before.
Sorry to hear that, but I hope we can continue on the terms that we left off on.
Of course.
Oh, fantastic. What? So I would probably Vox Mouse and get him to set a security detail on the room if he hasn't already.
Yep, that can easily be arranged.
And,
I know.
Also, I've also sent for a some unintoxicating refreshments.
Oh, and I hope you don't mind me taking care of that bothersome rival of yours.
I thought that might have been you. I couldn't be sure.
He, as you probably gathered by now, he was quite a target for the people I now work for.
A small target, a very long way away.
Distance is nothing.
Yeah, there's very few people that can say that. So,
And at that, just at that precise point, she'll just bring the rifle round and pat it, just so you get a clear look at it.
and is it the same rifle that you had before?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. I'm just gonna say if you get anything you can roll on to even.
Archaeotech? Scholastic law?
Do you have a Archaeotech?
That's Archaeotech. I didn't have it scrolled open enough.
You got nothing for that.
Forbidden Law Xenos?
Nope.
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 Uh,
No, you've literally got nothing that comes even close to that. Like this is something that's definitely not included in any common laws, even with like rolling a 1. Like it simply would not be included.
cool.
It is a
Is it long? Is it long and gun-like?
it's a very fucking fancy looking sniper rifle,
Well, that's enough.
and at a glance would appear to be mastercrafted. Like the craftsmanship is like radiating off it.
Nice. I see you've had an upgrade.
Actually, sorry, out of character, I probably would, at this point, kind of tell him who I am, I imagine.
Up to you.
For you, Lord Constantine, as being as we used to share an oath, I will tell you who I am now. Not that I imagine you will have any idea of their existence. But if I tell you, I must swear you to secrecy at this point. Nobody else can be informed. Obviously, Lucius will probably know.
Yeah, he's kind of got a bad habit of just knowing things.
Have you heard, Lord Constantine, of the Temple Assassinarium?
Let me consult my memories quickly. Have I heard of the temple? What was it, Assassinarium or something?
The Officio Assassinorum. Oh yes, that's the officially sanctioned branch of the Imperium, which is dedicated to the various branches of holy assassins. I'll take a common law Imperium at a -40 to see if you may have bumped into any particular names.
At a -40?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That was a 2% chance of success.
You've never heard of what he's talking about.
You kind of see maybe the puzzle on your face and go, let me put it in this manner. When the Space Marines can't do the job, Lord Constantine, they send one of us.
Does he know who Space Marines are?
You know what?
That's a good point, actually, Kill.
Okay, I honestly, I think purely since he's road trader, I think he would know all of the Officio Assassinorum and would know of the Adeptus Astartes. But obviously with that, Laurel has no knowledge of any specific sub-branches of either of those very broad terms.
Nice.
I am now a member of one of those temples. And I work solely for the Emperor.
Well, it's a honour to have you back aboard. Well, aboard for the first time on this vessel, I suppose.
Yes, it has more space. I'm not sure if I like more space.
I thought distance and long sightlines was kind of your thing.
But also smallness breeds familiarity more quickly.
Well, whatever you need is obviously at your disposal. So
Some quarters would be appreciated. I have some devices that need to be installed, i.e. communications devices back to the Inquisition.
of course.
Now, while I have my own set of needs of what I need to do, you can call on me while I am here if this ship is threatened. Because if this ship is threatened, that casket is threatened.
Seems fair. Well, I'll try not to bother you in all too often. But, as you are about the Emperor's work, but, we'll be happy to have you along once again.
Thank you. It is, in a weird sense, good to be back. How long I cannot say. Oh, there is one more thing. Could you have your ground crews take care of my ship?
I would assume that it's already been taken care of, but I will reiterate the plan.
And tell them not to be too worried about the machine sitting in the pilot seat.
It's not names.
It is just a piloting servitor.
Yeah, it's not Hendrickson. Dramatic return.
not a lobotomized Hendrickson, no.
She'll smile and go, no, he's not quite lobotomized yet.
Accurate.
Well, you are a bearer of good news today.
But yes, I shall go and make myself familiar with the ship, and I must pay a visit to Lucius.
Of course.
Yes, I think you should.
Oh yes. If I may be excused.
Of course. Anything you need, please feel free to just ask.
I will, and thank you for the welcome back, Lord Constantine.
Before we just sort of go to that encounter, Pointy, just because I fear you haven't said an awful lot this session, how will Mouse have been adapting to all the extra space available to him and his Ogryn, having not been sort of sequestered away in some random sort of cluster of storage bays, but in fact given their own section aboard the ship, proper crew quarters and whatnot.
Well, he didn't have any cats to swing, so he's probably picked up a random human crew member at some point and swung them round instead.
Mm.
Just because he heard that expression at some point about swinging a cat. He
Yeah.
was close enough.
Can I just have a flat weapon skill test just for all our amusement?
Okay, see if I accidentally rip the guy's arms off
Or
swinging too fast,
or clang him off
Another human.
He doesn't have a good time.
Nice. So you on sort of the second or third swing, you clang him off part of the ribbing around the corridor, and he's very unconscious. And with that minus 4.2, you don't notice until the third or fourth sort of swing back around when there's a second clang.
At which point I'm kind of
And
I should let go, and then just let go without actually stopping spinning.
has he
Nice.
turned him into a jam with 97?
Close enough. Let me just say, after the damage he sustained, the ship has acquired an extra servitor.
Mouse just kind of looks at the crumpled crewman and goes, "Oops," and just kind of strolls away nonchalantly, whistling, hoping no one saw. One of his underlings can clean it up. It's fine. That's what underlings are for.
Correct.
So I guess maybe would have requisitioned some Ogryn quarters so that they're all relatively close together, and maybe there's like a Ogryn-sized gymnasium in there, and
Yeah. So I mean, it's again, obviously a little bit of adaptation has had to occur. But you got like what was one of the sort of like junior officer areas. Thankfully, because of the large servitor population on this ship, being an admech ship, that means there is quite a lot of empty space. So what was like a section made up of like 2-man rooms for junior officers, you instead they've been converted into single rooms for Ogryns. So it works out quite nice for the sort of complement of your slightly increased complement now of a couple of hundred Ogryn.
okay.
Up from about the sort of 60 or 80 or so that you had back in the litany.
I imagine we've got our own special armory space as well, then,
Yep.
for all the bigger weapons and armor and stuff.
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
And
Mouse will just spend his time making sure that's all sorted to his satisfaction, familiarising himself with the ship because he's still the Infernus Master. So lots of giant crayon drawings on walls, kind of thing, while he figures out effective fire plans.
yeah, and Lieutenant Andrews has been promoted up to Captain Andrews now. And or guard, I think saying guard Captain Andrews will save any confusion. And he is his own lieutenant now and is seeming quite self-important. After he's got his various bionic parts, so he can keep up to spec with the Ogryns in their drinking contests.
Yeah, by this point, Mouse has learned not to clap him on the back quite so hard.
Excellent.
After the first couple of times he dislocated a shoulder.
So you're saying he's more of a tiny Ogryn now rather than a...
Well, if he can keep up with the drinking and if he's developed a suitable taste for the Gorsk White gin, then,
I mean, I wouldn't say he's developed a taste for it so much as that his taste has been burnt off, so he can't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah, he can survive drinking sufficient quantities to be considered...
Yeah, that's fair to say at this point.
Keeping up with the lads without passing out cold or even just, dying from alcohol poisoning outright.
I feel some of them may even consider that's kind of impressive given how, tiny he is.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess he's kind of attained to the status of mascot at this point, having survived for this long.
I think that's pretty fair. Yeah. Connor's not here, but the Ratlings will, of course, have pretty much again. I assume. Actually, would Mouse have requested the Ratlings be sort of annexed to the Ogryns again?
Yeah, at least close by.
Oh.
So they can, supply the Ogryn mess with sufficient crab cakes.
Yeah, like they share a mess. Yeah. That works for me. Anything you'd like to add at the minute, or is?
I don't think so. There's probably been a small parade or two just to get the new recruits into some kind of, saluting order, which is obviously the most important thing.
Obviously. Yeah. Okay, works for me. So yes, moving on to Lucia and Lucius. Lucius, I believe you've got the messages of what the data slate contains.
Yep.
And what is your opinion of the contents?
Deep down, there is an urge to just like open it. But it's slightly worrying that we need something like this for a job. But yeah, slightly Lucius would be a little bit more vigilant with keeping tabs on, well, at least that specific part of the ship.
And as an out of character barometer, on an oh shit meter, what would you rate out of 10?
Okay, so on the oh shit meter, what's in that thing is something that like that's the type of asset that would be like even like a someone from the Adeptus Custodes would have an incredible amount of trouble trying to deal with that. Space Marines would have a lot of trouble. So even something like a Chaos Lord would have a significant amount of trouble dealing with that, depending on equipment. So it's very, very dangerous. I would say, well, I don't know, the scale of 40k is quite high, but given most engagements, I would say it's at least a 7 out of 10.
There you go, Phoenix.
I've already guessed what it is, and I'm pretty sure.
That's fair enough then. That's good. Well, I plan on keeping it a little bit secret. I want you to guess what it is, and I'm pretty sure you'll figure out probably what it is. But
well, you rolled a bit back for what was it? Encounters. Was it encounters in the warp or encounters out of the warp? And we had something similar to it pop up on the ship, and we let it get on its way. Something of its caliber, I guess.
No.
I think it's Mouse's cousin, Hamster.
Fuck. Change of plans.
Terminator-sized man.
Okay, everyone, 10-minute break. Gotta think of a new plot.
Yeah, fair beat.
Our plans are ruined, Phil.
Shit, window's blowing out. Campaign's over. My bad. Home. Good frog.
I suppose what you could call it in general terms is a 40k tactical nuke.
Like, we're talking like full Exterminatus, or are we talking like cities, or what?
In the realm of like a fight that's happening. Like even then, even like the scale of like two armies fighting, this is like something that would sway the tide of a battle. So it's not enough to like kill a planet, but it's enough to sway the tide of like a major conflict. Potentially.
So.
I think Phoenix might not quite have figured out what it is.
Well, when you said it was like almost panicking, I was thinking like, a virus bomb or something like that.
I don't think a virus bomb would even fit on the ship, to be honest.
No.
No, they're pretty huge, aren't they?
Excellent. That means you've got no idea. So, moving on to the meeting between Lucia and Lucius, if it's needed.
Well, yeah. Have I got to watch what I say though?
I think it'd be more fun if you did. For the 3 people that will not know what this is until the last minute.
Okay. I'll talk in code then. That Lucius will understand.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, Lucia will make her way down to where it's being kept. And politely knock on the door.
I think the door would always be open.
She'll walk in then, and she'll just stand there for a moment. She does have the weapons with her.
having the advantage of essentially eyes on a stalk, Lucius doesn't separate from his work, which I guess would just be like, he hasn't really been assigned much work at the moment other than maintaining the ship, which he's relegated to his plebs, and maintaining the cask, which he doesn't have to do 24/7, so he'd just be like examining those Dark Eldar weapons at a microscopic level or something like that. So when Lucia would enter the room, his optical mechadendrite would just effectively pop up and look around, because he would hear her come in. Wouldn't really recognize her at all because he hasn't seen her outside of her body glove yet. I guess he would just speak up while still in the rudely using the microscope and ask, "Yes, can I assist?"
I keep forgetting you wouldn't know me without the mask on. Without the mask off.
Would I recognize the voice?
I think so. I think you might be quite interested in the pistol and rifle that she's toting around. Give me like a for you an Archaeo attack at a -20.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's terrible, yeah. Whatever.
Oh, sorry, I meant +20. I meant not -20.
+20.
Sorry, my bad. Do it again. Oh, there you go. Yes, that appears to be an Exodus rifle, an Exodus pistol that's being toted around, and I'm sure you know exactly which branch of the Imperium uses those.
So on, you get, I guess you would see the mechadendrite focus on her and like change filters and focus and whatnot, and then move down to equipment and guns, whatever that she's holding in a holster and holding the rifle. You would focus in on that, and then once you can tell it's recognized, you can see the little aperture zooming and whatnot. I guess Lucius. Fucking hell, Philbo feels like now. Lucius would I don't know. I guess like the pieces are coming together. He would step away from his microscope and face her, and I guess he's added it together. And he would ask, "Do I have the pleasure of knowing your name yet?"
You already know my name, Lucius. Have you already forgotten the time we spent in interrogation together?
I mean, to be honest, that's just starting to sound like a pickup line.
After that, it would all add together, and you can almost hear some emotion because it's been a little bit dulled down now that he's more of a machine, and he would just say, "Lucia."
Indeed. Same as before, but as you will probably know, quite different now.
I believe most of us have changed for the better, perhaps.
Indeed.
In your absence, I trust you're staying within service for now.
Yes. For the time being, I'm attached to this ship. I have matters that I must deal with, but also, above anything else, and shall just look to the left, that needs to be protected until it's needed.
And I trust that you understand the threat that we face, which would justify such an asset.
I do, and that is why it's here.
And I assume that we'll know in the future, at least.
You will. When it is needed, I will activate it.
My main concern is us being thrown into a colossal engagement at the last second. without us being properly prepared.
It is always prepared.
No, I mean us, as a crew. Or will we not need anything besides the asset?
No.
I see.
For what? Pretty much you know what we know. There are a number of ships. Size, classification, not really known. And the Dark Eldar do have some quite large ships, if indeed any of the larger ships have broken through. So you can understand on the scale of things why it might be needed.
Philbo, would I understand Dark Eldar ships?
Good point. I mean, realistically, difficult to explain without giving it away. The asset could, for example, occupy it could occupy the workings of a ship independently if required, or used in tandem with an invading force, or with a boarding party. How does that answer your question?
Okay, yeah. Yes, Drukhari ships are slippery, to say the least. If we didn't have a teleportarium aboard, I'm sure whatever plans that you have, or the Inquisition would have, would be impossible.
Believe me mostly when I say we just want them gone. There are not any I will be honest with you, Lucius, there are no real side missions here. Just that they need to be gone.
Indeed, we had no issues with them in Port. Were we at Port Wonder?
It
No,
was
we were in
it was
Footfall.
it was under
Footfall,
footfall, yeah.
Yeah,
I know you didn't. I was watching.
I assumed as much.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I saw you look directly at me.
I had a suspicion, indeed. We recovered some Drukhari assets, which should aid should we encounter any heavier Drukhari elements, like anything developed by homunculi, for example. And at this point, he would gesture to what is it? The graph platform?
Oh, the Darklands.
I suppose. Yeah.
Indeed, such heretical weaponry can be turned in good use to our assistance.
Indeed. Well, until we get a las cannon, this will have to suffice.
If it forwards the mission, then it does not matter whence it came. As long as it is used responsibly. And in the Emperor's name.
Yes, a certain halfling has been banned from its use.
You have a halfling now?
Yes.
Curious little things. But anyway, nobody else knows of its nature. Only us, and it shall be kept that way.
Indeed, of course, you have my word.
Good. That is my ship in the bay. It is a standard, and I'll reel off the number that you'd know. Slightly modified. Could one of your minor tech priests pay it some attention?
Of course, that's standard procedure for all ships that dock here.
You have my gratitude, Lucius.
Of course, I'm here anytime.
If I can be of any assistance with your package, do not hesitate to call me, and shall hand you a specific frequency.
Cool.
Unlikely, but thank you.
Good. I will explore the ship, I think.
Excellent.
And you know where she's going to go anyway.
Indeed. So, unless anyone has anything else to add, I believe we should get moving to the Clixer sector, and at least I think we can definitely set you up for next week. So, we're going to need a route, but which particular route would you like to take through the mall? And I was going to say, as part of the Clixer sector, as it is a well-known, well, it's a well-mapped area, there are particular warp routes that will be beneficial to you, and deviating from them may incur some minor penalties. But, yeah. I'm going to say, so, you've been requested to go to Protesia. I don't think you've been given any specific information on it, but you've been requested to go to Protesia, which there isn't a specific warp route to. The closest thing to warp route that sector is... No, there isn't actually nearby. So I don't really need to worry about that for now. Spectoris is the nearest one. Sort of Sentinel. Yeah, so Drusus / Sentinel is sort of where the warp routes begin to go in. So, generally speaking, if you were taking the traditional warp routes, shall we say, it'd be here. Where it allows you to make jump specifically to Scintilla. Oh, sorry, tranche then. Tranche is a fun one.
What is Scintilla?
The sector capital.
And that's where we're going, correct?
Yeah, so that's where the war cabinet's being held. For like organizing this task force, since it is in the Clixis sector, Battlefleet Clixis will be taking lead along with the Order of Clixis. It's sort of their jurisdiction, so while assets from the Cronus Expanse have been sort of pulled in to help because you're under their jurisdiction, they're wanting a more meaningful say in how you're bossed about. Given the powers at work here, it is of course in your best interest to indulge them, shall we say. So yeah, I've got your warp route for the latter part organised, but until then it's as normal. With your new navigator, you should absolutely fucking breeze this, I hasten to add. So your first stop is Protesia.
Asia is where we got to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be too dangerous to go straight from Port Wonder?
It's a bit of a long one, but you know, could get there.
Otherwise, it's a bit of a long way around, isn't it?
8 days in the warp, that's fine.
Well, it's half of what it normally would be, wouldn't it?
I was going to say the Tiger systems are fine to go to.
Yeah, just probably do a bounce of Tigris, whatever, which one? Three or whatever.
5 or 3 works. Yeah.
Bounce of Tigris 5. And...
Yes, they're the there's a couple of there's the green planets for the frontier worlds. So they're like the very edge of the Clix sector. Quite edgy as far as that's concerned. I was going to say, if you are you planning on doing any research on Protesia before you head off there, or are you just going to sort of trust it's all good?
I would like to do some, but it's up to.
Give me a. Hmm. It's a bit of everything. So give me a flat intelligence test.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Okay. Cool. Tell you what, since that's extended across the whole voyage, we can smooth out to at least a pass. So Protesia is a war world. They declared independence from the Clixis sector and the Imperium sort of at large. Sort of being in the sort of front, pretty much as close to the frontier as you can get without literally being in the Kronos Expanse. They declared themselves independent, and obviously the sort of the Clixis Navy has built sort of listening posts around it to make sure they can keep a close eye on any coming and going ships that may also be traders to the Imperium, and as well they obviously do patrols in that general area. With that sort of role, I'm not going to say you get anything more than that, other than it is pretty much an active war zone on the ground because of various guard regiments. Just I don't know. It's just like it's a fairly standard war front. They don't think they're ever going to win it, but they got to keep on fighting. That sort of thing. Just like complete standstill, back and forth, years and years and years on end. But yes, let's get some rolls done. So, footfall to the temple. I make that 6 days, and let's test out Navigator Jericus. Nice.
Navigator in a jar. What more do you need?
I know, right?
So he doesn't open up a can of worms.
Nice. So you make that in like 2 days. Sort of makes this into a bit of a joke, doesn't it? Yeah. And Jesus Christ. Okay, so the longest leg of the trip was 4 days, which is a battleground to Port Wander, and I will need 1 D100 from somebody that hasn't rolled 1 tonight.
Oh.
Jericus. Oh, no, Theodore got there just before. According to my screen.
Yeah, that was
Mine as
weird.
well.
It popped up before. Popped up after, but it's
Yeah.
before.
To be fair, I did see Jericus first, so we'll go with that.
It's because I've got dice enabled.
Oh dear. Can I have a D10?
Oh dear.
Nice one, Jericus.
You're welcome.
Fuck's sake. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Can I have a D10? Again.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, that's a change. A wormhole appears on coming out of warp. You barely have time to curse your Voidmaster before the impossibly strong gravitational pull of the wormhole begins to suck your ship in. Pass a -40 maneuver test, or be pulled into its crushing embrace.
I beg your pardon?
Yep. So this is a good maneuverability of 12. Let's double check.
Wait. Who's Mouse giving a hug to? What?
Retreater Coral Book. Starships. Actions.
And this is something in the good half of that table?
Oh, this is a different table completely. This is on arriving out of warp. Something happens. Maneuverability test is the helmsman making a spacecraft plus maneuverability. Okay, so you have a 12% chance of passing this.
Do it fucking well.
Okay, you have a 22% chance of passing this, so 22 or under. No.
I vote reroll. I vote reroll.
Yeah.
Roll? Okay.
Fuck.
Right. And that was a 4-year-old. So where the fuck's the cauldron?
What?
Oh, it's an area in the... Oh, wow. So yeah, you arrive at Port Wonder, get sucked into a wormhole, and get spat out in the middle of like a massive nebula. Let's see.
Oh, lovely.
D5 plus 3 direct hull damage. Jericus, D5 plus 3, please.
Not my ship.
Oh, good lord. Let me just type it out.
Seven direct hull damage. It's a great start for your new ship.
Tis but a scratch.
56 out of 63 health. Okay. Let's see, navigator.
I sent someone to go remove a finger from the navigator as a warning.
What fingers?
No.
I'm guessing that I don't know.
I was going to say, no. Your trip through the warp went flawlessly. It was your helmsman that didn't react fast enough to get you away from a random wormhole that appeared.
Yeah, without Garviel there to supervise them.
Well, rules is rules. This is a finger.
Fair enough. Let's see.
I think while we're doing all this journeying, word will have filtered through to Mouse that there might be some ship combat involved, so he's going to be especially drilling Ogryn's on boarding actions.
That's good.
Just so I can say he's doing something. Other than eating crab puffs, of course.
Okay, so basically after you come out of warp, there's like a massive lurching in the ship. The entire thing creaks, and you fall through a wormhole. Appears to be, it's definitely unlike warp travel, as you don't seem to travel through the warp, but nonetheless get spat out in a nebula. somewhere unknown to you yet, because your navigator was unable to locate the Astronomicum to understand where you are. Constantly, you get sort of hurried responses from his various acolytes that he is currently unresponsive, and 10 days go by before they're able to wake him up again. So you're trapped in a nebula for 10 days.
Yay! Okay.
No, nothing like special. No, nothing special other than that, really. Okay, excellent. Just, it's 8 more days go by. Nice. 6 more days go by. Nice. So yeah, you're basically drifting through a nebula for at this point, what, 3 weeks? What?
Right.
Oh shit, no, that's just over a month at this point. So yeah, while you're drifting, any ideas, any plans, any ideas to try and get yourselves out of this? Another 13 days.
I'm guessing nothing can be seen on sensors, right?
Nope. Thankfully, it is normal nebula. It's not like warp. It's not. You're definitely not in the warp. That much is, well known. But you're very much stuck because your navigator seems to be completely unable to to find the Astronomicon.
Lucia will bleep off a message using her terminal in her quarters to where she needs to send it to about the delay.
Fair enough.
Are we able to?
Go ahead.
We not just found the AA, also known as the Astronomicon Association. Come and give us a tow.
Fair enough. So after just over 6 weeks of floating around in a nebula, the navigator just about managed to find the Astronomicon and is confident of where you are and can then fish you back out of this nebula. In the meantime, Jericus, I believe you may have taken advantage of this time? To get your machine trait? Phoenix.
Wake up.
Phoenix! Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay.
Oh.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
Hear me?
Hear you now, yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
I will.
Cool. In that case, since figures you're stuck for a while, Jericus can get his Flesh is Weak trait finally invoked and update your sheet appropriately, and let's get you the fuck out of here. Fantastic. So you're finally on track, and you get sort of a 9-day trip back out to Constantine Station. Weirdly enough, can I get 2 D100s, please, for normal warp encounters?
Nice.
Cool. For a few days are uneventful. Can I get 1 more, please? Lovely. Great. Ah, dear. So while searching for the Astronomicon, your chief navigator instead sees a purple eye that seems to stare directly into his soul. Horrified, he begins screaming and ranting and must be heavily sedated. He is out for the rest of the day and takes him another 2 to recover from the ordeal. Other than navigator players may attempt to blah 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 blah. So yeah. Okay.
Can we swap him out?
That's going to be a bonus for. You can actually, yes. That's specifically said here. So, so you can either have the ship come to a dead stop, or can keep going forward blindly, or be guided by a lesser navigator. Which would you like?
Lesser.
Cool. Theodore, can I have a command test at a -10?
A what?
Okay. Cool. Can I have another Demon 100 at a +30? Sorry, so give me a Demon 100 +30. Lovely. A bout of poor luck swamps the ship. Minor injuries abound as toes are stubbed, fingers are severed, and slammed doors, and precious heirlooms are accidentally smashed. Lose D5 morale unless natural path to divination. Nope, don't have that. So yeah, you lose D5 morale. Have a D5, please.
Yes.
Well, you lose 2 morale. I think you're still past 100 though because of the various things you have. Okay. I'm just going to do these hard and fast, unless there's anything particularly outlandish. Nice.
Back on full.
Cool.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Nice to see us back awake again.
Yeah, and I believe that puts you back at Port Wonder with no major issues. Although I will take a D100 again. As a sort of sum of all that.
Anyone?
Oop. Forgot to change it.
Oh, that's fun. Cool. And can I have a D10, please?
It's Lucia, not Lucia old, isn't it?
Yeah. Not Garviel roll. It's Lucia. Yeah. We'll change the thing, obviously, but yeah. Give us a D10. Oh, excellent. So, on the comms, you hear a voice similar to one you've heard before. There's a Strixian trader in orbit around Port Wonder and is doing some business. The Vox message comes across and invites the rich bipeds to come aboard and barter for wares, if you so wish.
Oh, at this point, Lucia would be checking on the container.
Of course.
And she would look at Lucius with a smile on her face and goes, "Don't even think about it."
So is this the weird, like, swappy guy?
Yes.
And it served us well last time.
So, anyone that wishes to go across and trade with Strixus are allowed to roll a either use the acquisition, like the profit factor acquisition, or a +20 barter roll, whichever they prefer.
Is
Well,
this
we
like
traded
the last time
before?
we went? You have to swap stuff.
Yeah, you can offer something in barter, basically.
Okay. And how aligned with the Imperium are they?
They're just generic Xenos. They're fairly harmless.
Oh, Xenos. Okay. then.
They're
I'll
tolerated because they're not militaristic or anything like that. They just like trading.
They're
Mhm.
useful.
do they like? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll trade.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anyone going across, please either make an acquisition roll, which is a D100 versus your new profit factor of 65, or if you are sort of basically if you're Theodore or Jericus, feel free to make a barter roll at a +20.
So, sorry, what would I roll again?
So a D100, and this will be versus profit factor of 65.
Nice.
What the fuck?
Cool, that's 3 degrees of success for Lucia. Jericus only gets that. Okay. And Theodore gets that. Lucius, Mice, are you going to go and trade with the weird Strixus trader?
I don't think Mouse needs anything.
But so I
It could
think
be anything.
it could be
got-
anything.
There's
some-
grenades
some-
last time.
Yeah. I mean,
It's always worth it.
remember this is the place where the infamous void grenade came from, and where you got that blue gemstone. I haven't quite pulled into the game just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet.
We've still got that hell sword from the Dark Eldar, right?
Yeah.
No one's taken it. That's my point. No one's taken it, right?
Correct. It's the spear, it's not Hellsword. It's the is it Hellglaive or something like that? It's a spear
sounds familiar.
thing. Yeah, Hellglaive. I can't remember.
Okay.
That no one's taking it.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna pike it now. Lucy's gonna pike it.
All right.
I'm really tempted to stick the Dark Lance platform over because it's such a weird thing that's gonna be difficult to use.
I'm taking the book.
Ooh.
Lucia would say, "I'll ignore you taking the spear, and I'll take the platform."
I was gonna say. I mean, there's a limited amount of things that you can get from this, but if you just want to trade those things, you can trade those things. I'm not
But
going to.
last time people were trading like a bullet casing
Correct.
stuff. Like
Uh,
I don't think they particularly care on the worth of the item. It's more
yeah, because I'll tell you
the
for free.
act of trading.
yeah.
I think you described it as last time.
I know what I'm taking.
Pretty
sorry.
much, yeah.
That was a jest.
Just out of character, would anyone think that the ability to summon demons as something good?
I think you better visit at a different time I do
Yeah.
to keep the story flowing.
I'm
Because there might be an incident.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the book covered anyway.
As
It's
a-
not going to be like open. To
Can we
everyone.
go in different parties, Phil, just for the sake of the story?
as a GM and your character's longevity, I would advise you keep that away from the Vindicator Assassin
Oh yeah, I was gonna go on my own. Jesus. But I was just asking out of character. I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal that we can summon demons currently because corruption points.
I guess not.
Unless it doesn't cost any corruption points, it gives us any corruption points to summon a demon.
Oh, dude,
Out.
any use of that book, even looking at it in a slightly like nice way, will incur corruption points.
Yeah,
I think you better go first.
yeah, I will. The book, bound in human skin.
Yes.
I shall trade.
All right, Phoenix, give me 3 demon hundreds individually.
Okay.
Okay, so Strixus will take the book out of your hands and not appreciatively at it, and stroke it and say, "Oh yes, yes, nice binding, yes, yes, rare material,
Yeah.
and well, sort of, he'll put it in some random pile in. After a sort of moment of pondering, as if there's some sort of system on the go. To clarify, you're in like a large cargo bay, with shells going up, 3-4 meters, and there's piles under some of it. There's some very organized bits, as if I don't think a little bit the sort of warehouse for the Ark of the Covenant stored in Indiana Jones. That sort of like it's so organized it almost doesn't look organized. There's so much shit in it. Anyway, so he brings around 2 and proffers a skull fitted with some sort of tech in it. Strix it's not a server skull, I hasten to add. But Strix is explaining that it's a great companion on long trips. He then sort of shows you around. Hands you a peculiar-looking cube. Strix explains that it is an impossible puzzle, and there's great wisdom inside it.
Okay.
And last but not least, he shows you to some data slates and pulls them out of sort of a small box for storage. There's about half a dozen of them, and Strix explains they contain very useful and very secret information from the Human Inquisition.
Yeah. Is it all 3 that I get, or is it a choosing of one?
You can choose one of the 3.
One of the 3. This skull, does it look different to silver skulls, I'm guessing?
Yes, it does. There's some sort of technology inside it. Obviously you can't sort of sit down and properly examine it. Examine it under the circumstances. But Strix is when you sort of ask him about it again, and he'll explain it's a very good companion for long trips.
Very good companion for long trips.
Yes.
Or the impossible puzzle with lots of wisdom inside of it.
Yes. Or the half-dozen data slates with valuable information from the Human Inquisition.
Have you got the sound effect to the countdown clock?
Not handy.
Honestly, I don't know.
If unsure, roll a d3.
Yep.
Data slates it is then.
That's lit it is. Cool. We'll get back to that in a minute. Who's rolling next then?
Oh, I can go next.
Cool. You get to roll 3 times as well.
3d100, yeah?
3d100s.
Is this, we're like trading stuff for other stuff here?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay. I was actually looking at my list of stuff and realised I'm the one that has the weird blue gem.
Give me 2 more. Strixus takes you on to a what looks to be like a small filing cabinet, which has like sort of red and white tape with top secret, like what appears to be like spray painted on top of it in white letters. When you open it, it's like full of old files, and Strixus will explain that many, many great and powerful secrets are contained within, far too numerous for him to name any single one. He then sort of goes around the corner and shows you a strange-looking speaker device. He will then explain that it can be used to contact anyone, anywhere in the universe without delay. And last but not least, he shows you to a bottle of sprayable golden liquid. He can't remember whether it's either a very powerful acid or an alluring perfume. It's one or the other.
I love these things. I really do. What's the second one again, Phil? Sorry.
Oh, the strange-looking speaker device that can be used to contact anyone, anywhere in the universe without delay.
You know, that sounds the most amusing.
Okay.
For some reason, it just sounds amusing. She gets no weird sense off it, does she?
No, it's definitely not psychic.
Okay, she'll take it then.
Okay, that'll do.
That's even weirder.
Indeed. Who's next then?
Mouse, I guess?
Mice, I guess, yes. Fuck it, you can have 3 as well.
Yeah, I am going to offer up my Dynamo Great Hammer.
Oh, okay. You know what? Strixus will, he thinks it's very novel. I'll let you roll 4 times and pick 2.
Okay.
Sick.
You can just picture Phil scrolling the wheel on his mouse, can't you?
I was being offered a cup of tea. So yes, the first device you're shown to is a small badge with the symbol of a snake devouring its own tail embossed on it. Strixus explained that it's a powerful artifact that can only be used once. Let's see. He then shows you around to a small sort of like what appears to be like a potion rack. There's a yellow, purple, a blue, and a black one. He sort of picks up the purple one and offers it to you, and he claims it's delicious. It's very good for you. Lots of vitamins. Humans love vitamins, right?
Okay.
Let's see, and then we have. Oh, nice. So there's a book of imperial graces with a small but sturdy padlock on it. Strix explained this is a very sacred and ancient text full of much wisdom and human secrets and so on. Very valuable. He doesn't have the key to the lock either, which makes the lore inside even more secret and special. And he'll give it to you for half price. Let's see. I already had that one tonight, so. Last but not least, go. He shows you a large conical device that looks like a gun. Strix is pretty sure it's a sonic weapon of some sort.
I mean, I think Mouse being Mouse, he's going to go for the most weapon-like thing, so we'll go for that one.
Okay. And what else would you like? I said I'd offer you 2 of the 4.
Oh, the Book of Secrets. Why not?
Awesome.
Mouse can't actually read, but let's go for that.
Excellent. Okay. That'll do us then.
I've not been yet.
Oh, sorry. Give me another 3 then.
So I'm going to be offering up my spare power sword.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know. You can have 5 rolls and pick 3 of them. I guess that's pretty nice.
It's now I've got Windsor, so I had a spare.
Oh, damn.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
So, first things first. Strixus takes you round to like, well, almost feel like it's sort of a darkish corner, and shows a mannequin with unusually realistic features and a slightly gaping mouth. Strix explains that in order to activate it, you need to pour a liter of your own blood down its throat, and it will turn into a comatose version of yourself. Useful for decoys and stuff like that. Can only be used once though. 20% off.
I think I've had enough clones of myself.
He then sort of shops around the corner once again and offers you a grenade-sized cube with a button on it. Strixus will not allow you to press it, explaining that it could be quite dangerous. It shows you a cybernetic arm covered in some intricate scroll work. It says it's very good for playing sports with.
Is it against or
What do you mean?
using it?
It's very good for playing sports with.
Yes, as in playing sports against it, or
I imagine it replaces your own arm, the cybernetic arm. Yes. It then shows you to, with a surprise amount of reverence, 8 black candles in a various state of usage. One of them's almost used up. Strix will explain that these are simply mundane candles, and there's nothing special about them, and then will wink at you with 3 of his eyes.
Right.
And it shows you to last but not least, a deck of playing cards that are covered in obscene, chaotic scenes and symbols that hurt your mind to look at. Strix will just shrug and say, "Found them in the desert many years ago. Do you want them or not?"
So that's there's mannequin, arm, candles, cards,
And grenade-sized cube.
At the mention of the cards, there'll be a slight off from behind you. Not really, we all went on our own, so. Just joking.
Ooh. So I think the do I want to lose an arm? Okay. Yeah, the cards, the candles, and the arm.
Hard candle arm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's everybody then. So,
Oi.
huh? Oh, right, you're actually rolling. Okay then. Go on.
Oh no, I'm not rolling. I'm trading. I've not done
Okay.
anything yet.
We're trading then.
I am trading the Hellglaive.
Mhm.
The Spider Servo Skull, because I've not used it yet, and I don't know, I won't find a use for it, so I'll trade that. And the Markerlight drone that we got a long time ago from the
Jesus. Okay.
I think he's angling for another grenade.
I think he is.
No, that didn't come to mind actually.
Liar.
Hmm. Okay. Once again, I'm just gonna cherry pick a couple for you because I'm gonna cherry pick 3 of them for you. So first thing he shows you is a bulky piece of jerry-rigged Imperial tech, but the size of a human head, with a small radar dish in the top. Jericus explains that he hasn't figured out what this one does, but it might be a radio. Yeah, you recognize it pretty much immediately as a void ship tracking device.
Ooh.
Hmm. Secondly, he takes you around a corner and shows you a small device in a cushion. It's essentially a small bar with 2 cogs attached to it on either end. Each cog appears to be slowly spinning in a different direction. Strix explained that this is a heart piece of a very rare clockwork robot that the famous genius Van Zeloff built a millennia ago. It's the last remaining piece, very valuable. If you buy it, you get to keep the cushion too. It is quite literally 2 bits of perpetually moving clockwork.
Oh my god, I know what it is.
Both cogs spin. It's made of an unknown metal. It's completely indestructible. Both cogs spin in opposite directions at the same speed, forever, no matter what resistance is placed upon them, and with no discernible power source. If hooked up a vast amount of kinetic energy capturing cogworks, it could potentially power an entire planet, worth 2 profit factor.
Mm.
And last but not least, an ancient, worn-looking cybernetic eye. Strixus will explain that it is a great paperweight or doorstop. It's also enchanted to be lucky, probably. Yeah.
Phil?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for a sec.
Yeah. I'll let you. I'm gonna say you're gonna have to analyze that when you get back to the ship.
Okay.
See this instead. There you go.
Oh, Phil.
Hmm?
Speaking of profit factor,
Hmm?
I have hard bargain.
Mhm.
Have you taken that into account? +1 whenever we gain.
No, you haven't gained any profit factor.
Yeah.
It's that the little perpetual motion device is worth 2 profit factor, but unless you convert it into profit factor, it's not.
Yeah, I mean with the previous.
Oh,
endeavours that include profit factor.
sure. How much extra would that be then? Just 2 extra? 1 extra?
It's 1 extra whenever we complete an endeavour that gains profit factor.
Cool. Well, in that case, congrats, you've got 66 profit factor instead of 65.
Huzzah! Every little helps. That's
Yes.
a 1% increase.
Okay,
worth 500 XP.
indeed. I believe that is. Actually, you know what? On the way out, Constantine, Strixus will offer you a very fancy-looking top hat. It's very large, quite bulky, and Strixus will explain that it will enable you to wreak great vengeance against your enemies.
Is it that top hat?
As you seem like a man that has many enemies.
Is it that top hat?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I remember this from the first time.
Mm-hmm. Thought you might.
Okay.
Don't you remember, Dodd?
It just no.
That's fine. Okay. If everybody would remind me what I gave them.
Speaker that can communicate anywhere.
Yes. Ba, ba, ba. And I will whisper you all individually, and you can choose to explain. I'm going to call the session there, and then we'll get stuck straight into the sort of juicy stuff next week.
Just briefly, so you know what Lucy did when she went down to the cult, Phil.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get everybody their items, and then we'll sort of wrap up.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I give that. Theodore got the arm,
Candles and playing cards.
arm candles, playing cards.
And a top hat.
And candles.
Yeah, I like that.
And that. And mice. What did we get mice again?
The possibly sonic
Son of a
weapon and a padlocked book of Imperial secrets.
That was it.
Which I'm hoping turns out to be the galaxy's best crab puff recipe.
And there's the definition for your sonic device.
Okay.
What was the other thing?
The padlocked book.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, with Mouse's natural volume, it probably does count as a sonic weapon.
Where'd it go?
Did you get a loud hailer?
Basically.
Yes.
At least it's better than, was it Sandwich who got the weapon?
Oh yeah, the heat-based weapon. Yes.
At least it's better than that.
What? Heat-based weapon.
It was a hairdryer. Remember? Oh yeah, you weren't there. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh,
good lord.
hang on. So while I'm here, I'll sort of see it.
I also got the Lies of the Inquisition.
Right, Kilson, there's your tracking device.
Okay.
There's that. Da-da-da. Digging back through this, trying to find everyone's specific bits and pieces. Should you just get them all at the time. Whatever. Phoenix, what did you take again?
The data slates, half a dozen
Oh, that was it.
of the Inquisition secrets or something.
Yes.
I bet you they're porn.
Probably. Oh, fucking Strixis.
Is it porn?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew
Is
it
your
would
next
be
one pointed?
porn.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but okay.
Obscura is basically weed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a drug.
So it's somebody's stash.
I think I've got everybody sorted with everything. Have you missed anything for anyone? I think I've got everything.
This top hat?
Oh yeah, the top hat. Yeah.
He doesn't remember.
Is it a hat of sorting?
No, he doesn't remember. I remember.
I'll just put this one in the chat for everybody to see.
Pepperidge Farmer.
Now do you remember?
Nice.
Do you remember? Because your plan was to give it to your rival and then walk away from him.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah,
Same,
pretty much.
Same effect.
Okay. We'll sort of we'll pause it a
That GIF is somewhat distracting.
little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, we'll call it there for tonight. And sort of by way of apology for missing 2 weeks, and of course that was actually a really fun session. 800 XP tonight.
4,000 XP.
800 XP, and you'll be glad for it.
I'm back, bitches.
Yeah, that's us back on schedule. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy to keep on going until I start replacement, whatever that happens to be. And actually, let me stop stream briefly.
Could be 6 months.